Welcome to the How to Play tutorial on Monsters and Maidens from Clever Mojo Games. Depending on the amount of players determines how many maidens would be added to each game and how many epic feld chips would be necessary. In this case, we have a 2-player game set up where pink cubes equal 1 value maiden, where yellow equal 5 maidens. We have 2 of the epic feld chips, which we'll explain in later. We have our hero card, our monster card, and we have the 9 dice. We are now set up and ready to play Monsters and Maidens. The first thing you'll do is determine a starting player. That player then would take the hero card, and they would take the monster card and the 9 dice and lay them in front of them. Monsters and Maidens is played over a series of turns, divided into 6 phases that are completed in order. The first phase is to grab the dice and roll. The second phase is to collect any maidens that you have rolled and to place them immediately onto the hero card. The third phase is the battle phase. The battle phase consists of matching up a monster and a hero and placing them aside as such. In this example, we have 2 heroes that are left over at the end of the battle phase. That is a positive, and nothing would happen afterwards. However, if monsters were left over, we'll explain what will happen. At this point, the next option is that you can choose to either score the maidens that are on your hero card by taking 1 of the pink cubes per maiden from the score pile, or you can decide to continue. To continue means you just take all the remaining dice that are not maidens and you would choose to roll them again, thus going back to the first phase of the game, the roll phase. Once again now, we're going to go to phase 2, which would be rescue any maidens that you have rolled. So we have 2 more maidens. We're going to place them both onto the hero card again. Now we're going to go to our battle phase. The battle phase means that we're going to match up any heroes with monsters. Now notice we have 2 monsters left that do not have heroes that can be paired with them. What happens at this stage is that for each monster that is left over that does not have a hero paired, they will capture 1 maiden from the hero card and move them over to the monster card as such. Now once again, you can choose to go ahead and stop and score the maidens that you do have on your hero card, or you can go ahead and press your luck and go back to phase 1 again, which would be roll these 4 dice. We rolled no maidens, so we'll go straight into the battle phase. The battle phase means that we go ahead, match up our heroes and our monsters again, but this time we have 2 heroes left with no monsters for them to fight. For every hero that you have left over, you are allowed to rescue 1 maiden from the monster card and place them over onto the hero card. As such. Once again now you can choose to stop and score the amount of maidens from the score pile here per die that you have on your hero card. Your turn would continue like this until you met one of the automatic end turn conditions. There's only 3 of them, and they are: if you happen to be lucky enough to roll all maidens on your dice, that would immediately end your turn, and you would score the 9 maidens out of the score pile. If after rolling and you go into the combat phase, if you have no maidens left on your hero card, but they're on the monster card, that would automatically end your turn as well. After rescuing maidens, if all of the remaining dice that are in the center of the playing field that are not maidens are all of the exact same character, for in this instance, all 4 of them are heroes, that would end your turn as well, and you would immediately go into the score phase and score whatever maidens you have rescued on your hero card. If at any time on your very first roll you do not rescue any maidens, there are 0 on your hero card, that would require you to immediately end your turn. But if it was your very first roll, you'd be allowed to get an epic fail chip. What an epic fail chip allows you to do, on your very next turn, you may roll the dice, and then you cash in this chip, and you can change any one of the results here in the center to anything else that you would like. So for instance, in this case, you would be able to move these maidens here, and you'd be able to change this green one to a maiden as well, and then hopefully pair up the rest of the dice so that you'd be able to continue. The game is over when the last maiden from the score pile has been rescued. At that point, if there are not enough maidens for you to complete your score, pull them from the reserves to do so. The first time that cubes are ever taken from the reserves, you should finish the current round, taking all of the cubes that you need from the reserve. Then the game is over. If the last player of the round is the one to have rescued the last maidens, then the game is over. All players add up their maidens. The pink cubes are worth 1 point. Yellow cubes are worth 5 points. The player who has rescued the most maidens wins the game. Now that you have an understanding on how to play Monsters and Maidens, why don't we take a closer look at these dice and see what makes them different from one another. Green dice are your monster dice, orange are your hero, and purple are your maiden. Green dice, you have a greater chance at rolling monsters, because you have monsters on 3 sides of each die. 2 maidens, only 1 hero. The hero dice have 3 heroes, 2 monsters, but only 1 maiden. Maiden dice have 3 maidens, 2 heroes, and 1 monster. So, just to refresh, you have a greater chance at rolling maidens with the purple, a greater chance at rolling heroes with the orange, and a greater chance of rolling a monster with the green. This will end the How to Play tutorial for Monsters and Maidens by Clever Mojo Games. Thank you for watching.